Well, like I said in the lecture notes posting, this course is a specialized course in the study of geography, concentrating on the study of Mars's geography. So we will not discuss in great detail some of the concepts that you have previously learned in school, such as the 5 themes of geography. That being said, this topic does warrant a brief review, so we are all on the same sheet of music with regards to our geographical study of Mars. First off, what is the sort of universally accepted definition of geography? National Geography says that it is the study of places and relationships between people and their environments. Since they've been around since 1888 and they have geography in their name, I'm going to take that as a good definition. So places, and specifically where those places are located in space, can also be referred to as spatial, which literally means related to space. Since we're talking about Mars here, does that mean outer space? Well, no, not exactly. That means any space. Since we've been anchored to the Earth for nearly all of our history as a species, you can probably imagine why the field of geography has mostly been concerned with places here on Earth. But that is starting to change, and really has been changing ever since we developed instruments strong enough to see other places with greater and greater detail, like the other planets in our solar system and our nearest neighbor, the Moon. So the first of the 5 themes is location. Most geographic study begins with learning the location of places, and that location can be either absolute or relative. Absolute location gives a definite reference to a place's location by establishing a reference to a place's latitude and longitude coordinates, street address, or maybe even a grid coordinate like I used when I was in the military. Relative location simply provides a reference to a place as it relates to another place. That can be by stating how far away a place is, like 5 miles west of the school and 5 miles east of Walmart on 192. We can't determine the place's absolute location with that information, but we have a general idea of where that location is. The next theme is place. You may be thinking, well, haven't we just been talking about place? And I'd say yes, at least in reference to the place's location. In geography, place is the human and physical description of a location. We can describe a place by referring to the physical characteristics, such as the mountains, rivers, beaches, topography, climate, animal and plant life of a place, or whether that place is hot, sandy, fertile, or forested. All of these terms help a geographer to paint a picture of the physical characteristics of the location. As an example, a topographical map is one tool that is used to illustrate the physical characteristics of a location. We'll talk more about topographical maps later. The human characteristics of a place describe features that are human designed at that location. Describing a location as rural or urban, which talks about how humans are using the land at that location, as well as things like what style of architecture is common, what religious practices or political systems exist there, what means of transportation and communication exist, what sort of industry is prevalent, etc. An example description could be that the location is rural, predominantly Hispanic, Catholic, and politically democratic. Human-environment interaction is the third theme. Mainly this theme deals with how humans adapt and modify the environment. How have humans shaped the landscape? And how has that positively or negatively affected the environment? Draining swampland to increase the size of the city of Miami, or human deforestation in Haiti are some examples. Movement as a theme of geography deals with human movement, or you could say relocation, and migration, but it can entail more than just physical movement. So movement is also concerned with natural movements like water flows and the movement or expansion of things like power grid, cellular phone service, etc. Regions are a component of geography that divides the world into manageable units for geographic study. What that means is that areas are created from varying characteristics that unify an area, what an area has in common throughout that area. There are different types of regions, such as formal, functional, or vernacular. Formal regions have official boundaries, like cities, counties, states, countries. They are usually commonly known, if not universally accepted sometimes. Functional regions are defined by how they connect. All of the locations that have power delivered by Florida Power and Light, for example. Vernacular regions are perceived regions, like the South, or Central Florida, or Sub-Sahara. They do not have formal boundaries. If they did have formal boundaries, they'd be considered formal regions. But they are understood and commonly accepted. So that is it for our review of the 5 themes of geography. For the next assignment, I'm going to ask you a question for you to respond to in a discussion post. So let me go over those questions with you, and you'll see them in the post later on. What theme of geography do you think can be used in the study of Mars today? Will that change in the future if humans settle there? What themes will be relevant then? So keep up the good work, and I'll talk with you soon.